And so, Tom Serson, Jim Riley, Joe Zillig, Harry J. Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita Quidmon, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, Bitted Bet 4, Blue Boy Boxes, the Adela Man, GPS Vessel, Robo Rapist Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon, Harry 138, Ellery, Charles T. Ellery, Doug King, and your group, Bernard, since you seem to be the one in Perlita and Charles the main focus, but and Jamaica Street, Pickett Street, Karen Faust Country and Western. Since for some of you I'm your opponent at war, Dave, and I'm a perceived threat supposedly. So when you attack me at war multiple times, Dave, you break down my technology and my people, right? You break it down to build your new technology, all right, to build your new resource, okay? Your supposed superiority with the Antilla Man or Joe or whoever, Indian Joe. Okay, you feed off of the old. So you always pick, the group of you, Bernard, you always pick the same opponents, okay? So don't you think that it would be in the best interest of, the military or the police, FBI, CIA, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Intel, IHS, Oracle, whoever, okay, to monitor the behavior of all of you? Okay, so as you're at war, the group of you are at war, Roble Knight, Whispering Faggot, the Fairmount Joe, Maltese, Nightcross Thief, LGBT, Judy Summer. So as you guys engage in war, they're going to watch all of it, okay, to avert the problems of the groups of you at war. Oh, NASA too. So if your enemy was NASA or another entity, David Roble Knight, prior, they're going to observe it, or the government or the military, because the groups of you, right? So it's in their best interest to observe all of the conflict, to build their new technology to avoid all of it. So how do you beat it, Dave, Perlita, War Gamers? How do you beat it? How do you beat it, Roble Knight? And that's why you guys do the swapping back and forth. Fairmount Cemetery. So prison life, ghetto life, Perlita, is not a good idea with your gangs, because those who are seeking to increase their intelligence level, or there's another word, their evolutionary gain, right, to move beyond the primordial soup that Ellery created with his atheism, right, are going to watch all of the war and the argument. And so, Perlita, you also, with Karen and Don and whoever, announced, like I said, a dictatorship of Mexico or Texas or Colorado or wherever with the site. Not a good idea. Okay? And then, like I said, the groups of you voiced that you don't like the Israelis or the Russians or the, certain ethnic groups. That's why the racist groups, not a good idea. So African Americans, because you wanted to be nosy, Baldy, East Coast Negro, and Freddie from Texas, Elton, you built yourselves in your own trap based upon the lifestyle that you guys say should be your culture. Same with country and western. Same with you, Taco Indian Joe. Your motives, right? So you guys always attack me because it's supposedly easy to evolve your technology. But you guys never get to see it, and never will, because there's going to be another set that you guys screwed over or opposes you that built on top of it. So, Roble Knight, that's how I proved that you guys steal it and committed murder for it in the first place. The All-American Antilla, see, if the Air Force didn't agree with what you guys did, guess who's going to evolve? Those who have more information about the activities in which you guys are trying to cover up. Understand? Joe, that's why I don't want to keep repeating engagement report. Because so now they know that you guys are breaking my body down and my technology down. They do the same with yours, Joe, Harry, Bernard, the superheroes. Get why you don't want to come in and clicker GPS Roble Knight clicker around and move people and lie to them and change things. Repeat Indian. They have all you guys' tactics there. So like I said, Robo Knight, you can fade it all the way out all you want, but you're still in the Google that you guys came in and used to what? With the Garni to destroy. So we now know the Garni screws it up. Perlita's Ghetto Light screws it up. Goes to war and breaks some people's technology down. The country and Western people do. Your whole theme, Bernard, and your arrogance and your ego. You guys, what? Try to hump as many girls as you can to do what? Break down their bodies, right? See why I was very interested, Harry, and you guys, before you guys screwed it all up, to get people healed and stuff first. That's what we originally wanted to do, and then you guys took it. That's a good idea. Took it, and then what? You beat down the ones that you guys took the idea from. So, like I said, when you guys mark or mutilate our faces and stuff, it proves which ones you go after. You guys, Hattie Beswick, because what? The third, it shows a style or culture you're trying to follow. Korea Joe, or one of the guys that ran overseas, the cowboy ran overseas. Heidi, Brian Miller, me, but it also proves that you guys use any of their friends and relatives or sisters, brothers, whatever. But you show the marks of what you break down, David. So how do you beat it? When government entities and the military branches are watching it, but also like you guys made fun of NASA and screwed up their stuff, they're watching it, but then they also know that you guys screwed up another entity, evolved being stuff, so they're watching it. Understand? The other nations that you guys hate, they're watching it. See why you don't want to do this, David? How do you beat it? Perlita Ghetto Life. Running to the other side is not going to save you, because I'll just say, hey, watch Greg Faust's whole line, or my whole blue line from San Diego to Florida, and then we can slide it up to the center line of the United States, and then up to the next, from Washington up, and then slide it up to Canada. You can slide it down. You can slide it over to the overseas. You can do that. See? How do you beat it, Roland Knight? How do you beat the war model? See why I said you told you adults you don't want to militarize those beings, but you did. But you guys did. Then you guys broadcast some, your El Cortez team there, Roland Knight or Bernard, did that for. Then you guys broadcast your pirated shit to profess that you were originally the I, but you never were, because you really didn't ever know what state of being or mind that you originally were in. Then some of you say, well, use drugs or this and that, but that doesn't work either. How do you beat it, David? How do you beat the war game? Remember, those ships out in the water symbolize something. It's called stability, David. And that's why you guys don't want to piss them off. Or the fighter pilots, or the SEALs, or any of the military branches, the engineering corps. So, if you destroy our sacred symbol, David, and your team, you don't respect it. Doesn't matter if it's that, or the Y, or any letter you use, a period dot, or any of the geometric shapes, the elements in our periodic table, the LHC, biology. How do you? Because you guys are constantly at war with something. How do you beat it? Food? What are you guys trying to prove, David? That most people who are intellectually moving up on the chain have not already thought of, especially high-ranking military people. What are you guys trying to prove? No Robo Knight, GPS Paso Robo Rapist Knight. You guys took over stuff that you didn't know what you were doing, and you have a constant war with the same families and abuse the same families to assert your dominance that you supposedly rule the world or the cosmos, but you're full of fucking shit. Because you only will listen to or accept what you guys want to hear, but nobody else. And once you guys started your attack, that's all it's been. That's why I know you guys took my dad's stuff. That's why Joe attacks the family members and makes up a fucking story with Bernard de la Carney. See, I could tell, like I said, Bernard, you're the dragon in Lord of the Rings sitting on top of the gold pile that's becoming consumed and obsessed. And then your breath. Whew, what you guys did even proves the other children in Aurora and in these communities that you guys abused based upon what they read, the games they played versus the other the war games that you guys played. So they actually do get to prove what the violence in video games does that you guys mocked several years ago when I was in Colorado. So, Bernard, I can prove that your whole 4 years or 5 years of torture and your setup with Doug and your hack is strictly based upon you trying to win, and it's all lies. If anyone was killed, you guys did it, Bernard. You and that family there have so much money, you guys think you can get away with whatever you want. But it's catching up with you. There's a reason why you guys oppose something, and it's generally because you guys know you took something. That's what war is about. And then you guys start to prove the reasons behind why you took it, or why you should win, why you guys destroyed the Disneyland, SeaWorld, whatever it is. Right? There's other Disneylands or Disney Worlds that are better than this one, better MGMs, better casinos, whatever. But you guys are to feed the beast, but it's the beast feeding off of you all. Are you sure, Robo Knight and your team, Bernard, that your claims are even true? Or are you just obsessed over a girl to try to, like I said, still try to sleep with her? The blue girl. Do you guys think it's going to bring you immortality? Just remember, Bernard, if you create it with the Antilla Man, be sure that when you guys do, it doesn't start to break you down. Get it? Start to degrade your technology and all that. Because baby, Joe and Hillary, Bernard, your team, she's trying to send you a message. Understand that it was never yours in the first place, Bernard. That your war was constantly with her because of your obsession and your jealousy in the first place. And Harry and them getting involved. Like I said, go set it up overseas and then come back over here so we make sure we win. And then anyone in the way, destroy. But remember, Bernard, if you get what you want and they stick it in again, it's going to break you down just like it did before, which means you're an obsessed warlord fool. Understand? Understand, Bernard, when you screw with my dad's stuff or the other people's stuff that knew what they were doing for your right to survive, and you come through certain cities and you jack it up and you don't know what you're talking about, makes you dumb. And when you do a Chinese fire drill to sit there and cover up what you did to my mom or anybody else, my Auntie Wendy, probably Auntie Wendy is my mother anyway, you know, and that's what you guys are doing, is covering up a murder with the Negroes. That's why I don't like your ghetto shit. Bernard, Joe, see why, Bridges? It proves that you did, Bridges, because you're consumed by it. The way you hover and the group of you men hide your faces. Some men show their faces, Joe, whether they did right or wrong. And then there are some of you who always constantly hide it because you guys are the ones committing the crime and jacking it all up.